Hello, welcome back. I'm Brennan Lee. In this video, I want to talk to you about the difference between perception and awareness. Okay. Kieran, thanks for writing in. Everybody else, get ready. Don't know where this is going to go, and am I getting... I don't know. We're going to have to find out. Again, from the forum, if you want to check the forum, links in the description, people interface with me or ask questions, and it helps me continue my work and also provide some value for you so that I can build something, grow something, have you guys come here, girls come here, whoever. Just come over, do some workshops, okay. Dear Brendan, thanks Kieran for writing in. See you soon, perhaps. I'm quite the concerned citizen on this matter. When I contemplate or wonder regarding the nature of perception and awareness, for some reason, they seem to be referring to the same thing. Perception and awareness seem to be referring to the same thing. I use perception and awareness here in relative terms, not as alternative references to the absolute. Yeah, because any reference to the absolute is irrelevant, because the reference itself is never what it's referring to, ever, can't be, so fuck it. Thank you. I'm confused because at the very minimum it appears that awareness and perception are at least linked. Everything in the relative world we are aware and experience through the perceptive sense faculties. So how might you make a distinction regarding the difference between the two? All right, so, hey, I'm going to mess around here with you a little bit. Follow along. See if you can grasp the distinctions that I'm pointing at, as if, because the sound that's come out, that is about, the sounds and the gestures that are going to emanate from my mouth and that you're going to see on the screen are not what I'm talking about. This is a means to communicate something. I will be as if pointing at something in your experience, and it's your job to grasp that, whatever it is, and or consider the matter in that light. You know, not the belief about the matter, not the thought about the matter, but the matter itself. And if you can do that, then you'll be on your way towards experientially grasping what I'm saying. So now, and I'm going to do my best shot, and who knows where it goes, right? Perception and awareness. Now consider perception. I believe you can check more on that in the Book of Not Knowing. I'll leave a link in the description for that. By Peter Rawlinson, that can help clarify this topic, this matter, better. But essentially consider, you've got your experience, right? What you see, I'm just saying, like generally, your experience. You see things, you hear things, you're in a room or whatever, you're watching this on a phone, tablet, or a computer. This is your experience. You're thinking about, you have thoughts, there's the physical reality around you, and you say you perceive all that. Now consider that the perception, what you perceive, isn't... An ant does not perceive what you perceive. You perceive particular things, or what we call perception normally, like, okay, there's a table, there's a chair, I'm outside. So now let me rip you off from that and call that interpretation. We'll make a distinction. Okay, if you see a chair somewhere, you're not perceiving that, you're actually interpreting that as a chair. And you notice that there's objects. This is all of the stuff that you are aware of. Now, there can be things that are in your experience that you are not aware of. Like, big, gross example, you step out into the road, or you're driving a car, you're looking at somebody, they turn and look at you, and then they pull right out in front of you. The only way they can really pull out in front of you is if they're not aware of you being there, but you could still be there. You see what I'm saying? You might hit them. Or you're going along and I just didn't see that, and you run into it. This is an example of something in your experience that you are not aware of. So now we have three distinctions on the table, three main ones. Your experience, what I'm generally calling your experience. No, we have more than that. Okay, I hope I don't get lost. You experience things. What you normally call perception, I've ripped you off that now, and now call that interpretation. You interpret things to be there. There's a chair, there's a table. And then you can have what you are aware of within your experience. So you can have your awareness. And you can be aware of something or not. And that may or may not be indicative of whether it's there or not. It just may not be there for you, but it could still be there. You could run into it. And then we have now perception. So I've ripped you off of perception. Now there should start to be a question forming. Well, what is meant by the word perception? Now, what distinction? What am I pointing at when I say perception? Because normally, I perceive a chair. No, you interpret the chair to be there. All right? So now perception. Just for fun. Again, I apologize if this doesn't go smoothly in advance. An ant does not have the same experience that you do. Yet it can still function in the world. It can sense things. It has antennae. It can, we hear tell via science that ants can drop a pheromone trail, and you can see ants working together, so they must be making distinctions of some kind, or they are using faculties, like we have eyes and ears, we have faculties to apprehend the world. So now the sight itself, just the fact of sight, not what you see, but sight itself, we could consider, well, what's that about? And the fact that you have eyeballs and that they are built a certain way to interact with something, again, with science, we go to light. But say we didn't have science, we just have, these interact with something and then produce an image somehow that we then relate to via our brain, again from science, like light comes in, we make sense out of it, and an image shows up. Now this image is not the same image that an ant sees, so what's the real one? You see, ants do not see a table and chairs and microphone and all this stuff. They do not see that, yet we see that and we say ours is the correct one. But who's to say? If one could be drastically different. We just don't know about ants because we don't perceive like that. Right? So now, backing up even further, what is it that even allows for the eyeballs to show up the way that they do? What is it that allows for even the antennae on the ant to show up the way that they do? Somehow there's something going on that we say is related to reality, that then the eyeballs would then be created to then interact with this something, whatever that is, so that then we could do what? What's the point of seeing? What's the point of hearing? What's the point of feeling? Sensing or whatever, tasting, smelling. What's the point? What function does all that serve? And you can see clearly that it serves the survival of the creature. That's what that's for. It's for ascertaining what's good and bad for the meat sack. As if, right? And it still doesn't tell us what perception is. But then you can consider, looping back again to the question, well, what is it that allows for the eyeballs to exist? What is it that allows for the antennae to show up or the ears to be so excellently crafted? You see? So now the assertion that we make in the workshops, these are very powerful workshops created by Peter Ralston, my main guy, somebody I've worked with for many years. Perception is prior to what you interpret to be. So like before a chair is a chair, what's there? Before an object is an object, what's there? Before light is light, before it even shows up as something that we can interpret to be, like, oh, there's light, I recognize light, that's something I recognize. What is it? What way is it before you recognize it? We say there is something there, something's going on, otherwise why have the eyeballs? Why have the antennae? Why have the ears? Why have all this stuff? Something's going on. We just don't know what that is. See, so that's something that's going on, we'd call that, in the workshops, again, come do those, check the links, all that stuff. They're very powerful. We call that perception, and as Peter would say it, now again, I'm going to say something, but remember, the saying is not the thing, so you're always invited to check out, use the videos. The more I shoot these videos, the more I'm noticing that my job in many of these is to as if go along with the spirit of this work, this consciousness work, and it's very investigative. I don't want to tell you what to do or what to believe or how to think. Well, No, I'm not telling you how to think, but I'm inviting you to think in a certain way or to consider for yourself, hey, what's the deal? You see, so I want these to be more of like a puzzle or something. Like, ooh, what are we going to discover? What are we going to look into together this week? I think Krishnamurti does stuff in a similar way, and it's like, it's good. Yeah, it's refreshing. Okay, good. And then it's like following a journey. Anyway, that's a sidebar. So we notice, so use the videos in that way. That's my invitation. I want you to do that rather than just believe me or think that you know what I'm talking about, because that's thinking and believing. Who cares? Good. Think and believe, yes, and let's take a look. I'm asserting that there is something going on. Oh, I am going to say, perception is a meaningless phenomenon. Before it's like as if the raw data of experience, the raw what's there, such that then there could be eyeballs that show up to interact with what's there, whatever that is, to then create reality. Oh, here's a chair, I'm in a room, looking at a camera, talking to a camera, imagining like it's a person. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of people in a sense because, you're watching it. If you got it this far, probably most of you fucked off by now. My camera's blinking at me. It worries me. I'm going to turn off the camera, turn it back on. See you. Okay, so now, if you want to go looking for perception, try to push yourself as if try to go in your experience to where it's before interpretation. And ask yourself, well, what's there? Is there anything there? Is there anything going on? What's going on here? Basically, what's going on here at the source of my experience? The source of my interpreted experience. Like before a chair is a chair, what's there? Before I recognize an object, what's there? Is there anything going on? Is there? Before time. And then we recognize something we call time. But before that, what's happening? Is there some space or as if space, even though it's not recognized as such, where stuff is, the raw data of experience? I don't know. See, that's where to go looking. So push yourself, your consciousness, if you will, your awareness, perhaps, scratch awareness, your consciousness, to right at the source of your perceived experience, or right at the source of your interpreted experience, at the beginning, before you can think a thought, before you recognize what a thought is, what's there. See, and perhaps that opens up a possibility for discovering perception itself. So now that's perception. Now awareness is more in the domain of there's that you can be aware. And what's that about? Aware of my experience. And you notice that when you are aware, no matter what's going on, you're aware. At some point, you likely are not aware, say, of deep sleep. I do not see much awareness there, and yet at some point I wake up, now I'm aware. No matter what's happening, I'm still aware. Whether it's good or bad, I'm still aware. So then what is awareness? You can take a look at that. No? So how's that? You got something on perception, awareness. You can maybe a new distinction between the two. Then there's what you interpret to be in reality. Chair, table, bald head, room, blue, like, don't like. You interpret all that stuff, and you can be aware of it. And then you can also have things in your experience. I'm recapping here. You can have things in your experience that you're not aware of, and yet they are still there. Perhaps you're even still experiencing it, yet you're not aware of it. And then you might run into it or something, or it hits you, and you go, oh, I wasn't aware of that. Now I'm aware. Right? Okay? So, hang with me on that one. was a bit of a... Good. I hope you got something out of that. Kieran, thanks for writing in. Thanks for checking out the forum. If you also want to check out the forum, links in the description. I am Brendan Lee. I'm in support of Consciousness and Skill Worldwide. It's founded by Peter Ralston. If you want to get serious, come here to a workshop. They're very powerful events. They do good. Way better than watching videos. If you want to get serious. If you don't, hey, watch the videos. No problem. Write me. Let me know what's going on. I'm here to serve. I'll catch you later. Till next time, I'm Brendan Lee with thebrendanlee.com in support of Consciousness and Skill Worldwide, founded by Peter Ralston. Till next time, take care.